Hey man, the shortest after show you're going to see for the Eccentric Family Review. I didn't like it because it's too jab.
I liked it a lot because it reminded me of my life.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it. It was really like a show I've always had my plan to watch list. And after finally seeing it, I can definitely sort of see why so many people really like it. It was a really unique experience for me, especially because I've watched so many anime over the years where, a lot of anime are very similar to each other in some aspects. But Eccentric Family really stood out just because it used Japanese lore in such an interesting way for me. So I really liked it for that. The characters I thought were fun. And, I just really connected with the story. It kind of reminded me of, my own brothers and connecting with them a bit. And it really made me think about my life.
It's beautiful, Malesh. I don't know, man. Like I said, I thought it was good. At first, I was like, I'm not really feeling it. And then in the middle, I was like, man, I just don't like it. And there was one plot point that bothered me a lot, which was Soichiro, the father Tanuki, being captured. And they just snatched him right up. And they were like, hey, he was in a cage. And they were like, hey, man, we're just going to eat you. And he was like, all right. But they previously said he transformed into a mountain because he's, the best transforming Tanuki. Because you got, we have willpower to transform. So he was trained in the mind. But he just stayed in the cage. I'm like, dude, can't you just transform out of it? And they left that just hanging there. And even one of the brothers was like, isn't that kind of weird? They just snatched him right up and didn't do anything. And then 5 episodes passed. And I was just feeling like, man, they're not really getting to this point. And then they revealed it with he was super, super drunk. So he lost his willpower, mentally. And when they're in human form, they got to use their willpower to stay in human form. So when they showed Benton and the Friday Fellows who were going to eat him, he was startled into losing his human form. So they just snatched him up. And I guess that makes sense. Like I said, it's consistent. So even if you don't know what Tanukis are, they just tell you, hey, you can transform. And these are the limitations. You can be trained, apparently. That was a little weird. I thought I was they never really made the second eldest brother be a Tanuki again. He turned back into a frog after he was being a train. Yeah.
Hey, man. You, if you were a frog or something, you don't want to go back.
Once you go frog, you can't go gog.
Whatever
that means.
I'm curious if there will be a second season because the manga just ended last year. I don't think there will be, but that is me because I just want to see more of the shows. I really enjoyed it. I just really enjoyed the environment, the setting for it a lot. I really wouldn't mind seeing a spin-off of different characters. I feel like you could really do that with this show. Because it doesn't just have to be that family. You can totally focus on the other family. Talk about kind of the uncle was messed up.
Yeah, I'm going to kill my brother for power.
Then I'm going to kill my little nephew. That's not a good thing.
Yeah, no, how the story was, it was cool.
It reminded me of the one time.
I remember. I don't know. This is the first anime so far where I just didn't like it. But I didn't think it was bad.
It's because he's what we call white trash.
Man, I got my taste, man. It's just didn't fit my tastes. I got my opinions and I just didn't like it. But I thought I critiqued it well. If we watch a really bad anime, then I'll be like, hey, I don't like it and it's bad. But this time I was like, I don't like it, but it's good. Yeah, if you're a weeb, you love it.
When we watch School Days. That's going to be a real fun time.
Yeah, but next review is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And I'm only 4 episodes in. It's legitimately one of the best animes. I gotta think that's gonna be a really hype, impressive review. We'll get to that when that happens.
Yeah, I've already seen it, so I already know it's really good.
Did you watch Brotherhood or the original?
I watched goddamn both.
Oh, okay, because Eric, I think you almost saw the original. Because I was like, yo, dude, I got to the part where this happens. He was like, oh, episode 6? And I'm like, no, it's episode 4. And I was like, oh, yeah, they made it a little bit different when they rewrote it.
Yeah, because Alchemist is real good, and so is Brotherhood. They both are interesting to watch. I watched Alchemist first and then watched Brotherhood.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I would still recommend Alchemist if you've seen Brotherhood, because I think it is an interesting take of what ends up happening. Because they take... we should probably talk about this for the after show for that. That is...
if anyone's curious and they want to watch before the review, I'll tell you right off the bat, it's good. But if you're a newbie, you can watch Brotherhood without the first one. It's a rewrite, so you don't need the first one. I'll probably say in the review, if you're an anime newbie or you don't watch anime, just watch Brotherhood and don't worry about it. If you've seen the original, you may watch Brotherhood. I don't know if it's that much better, but people talk like it's really, really, really good. Really good rewrite.
Well, the main reason that people talk about it so much is because Brotherhood focuses on what the manga does. Because for Alchemist, the original,
how long is the manga? Is it real long?
200, 300 chapters probably.
Oh boy!
So when the first anime came out, it was while the manga was running, so it actually came up to it at one point. So they want to continue the story and actually end it.
Ah, that makes sense.
So they came up with his own original story, while Brotherhood pretty much follows the manga to a T because the manga was done by the time it was being produced.
Makes sense. So yeah, I think it mostly wraps up our little after show. Like I said, the show was short, so I don't have a lot to say. My biggest problem with them not explaining how they captured Shoichiro did conclude, and I just gotta say, I just hate Benton, man.
I know.
I saw some people on the My Analyst forums and the episode discussion like, oh man, I'm feeling for Benton. I understand Benton, this and that, and I'm just like, Benton is just a bitch, and I did not think
He doesn't like women, so it's fine.
Wow, dude.
All right, we're
done. On the bus like that.